Hi, this is Ritika Banka from Capricorn Technologies. Today's topic of discussion is heating and cooling load calculations using Revit. Revit makes it very easy. We'll see how. Manual load calculations, when we go for manual load calculations, we require many informations such as design conditions as per the code, as per the standards of the area, the U factors, which depends on the material, the internal load, ventilation load, and many other information, very accurate information like this. When we go for Revit, Revit has a heating and cooling load tool which allows the energy analysis for the whole project. How it does is it sums up the loads and design it for a particular hour and take the peak load of that hour and then design for air conditioning system. And ultimately at the end it gives a very detailed report of the used energy, construction and materials, and this zone and space defined detailed report helps us in choosing the right heating or cooling system. We'll take a very basic Revit model for that, architectural model. Heating and cooling load option in this analyze tab. Analyze tab, we go to heating and cooling load option, and this is a general tab that general box that we get. Now, what are there in the general tab? Building type. Building type is nothing, it just specifies the type of building. For our project, for our example, we can take office. Location. Location gives us the geographical information of the area of the site and also the weather conditions. When we go to the Revit file, we have building type. There are many options to choose from, so we can choose any option as per our requirement. Gymnasium, hospital, any such of, like we have taken office here. And location, we can change the location as per our requirement, as per the site of the project. We'll get these two tabs. We can just type in the area and search. It will automatically search the area and give the weather conditions from the nearest site, weather station. So we'll get the weather also from the same tab. Now we again go to the Revit model and we have other options. Ground plane. In ground plane, we take the plane of the which floor we are working on, which floor we need to condition. We'll take that plane. Then project phase, we'll tell the recent phase of the project. It's the new construction or the existing construction, we'll tell that. So these all information we'll give. Next comes the building service. What kind of service we need to use, like for the air distribution, we'll specify that. And here we're using VAV single duct system, so we'll put that. We have many other options and number of options for that. We can choose any of them what we like. Then we have infiltration, so we can also choose the type of infiltration, if it's loose or medium or tight. So for here we can use medium. And then the report type, if we need a very extensive report, we'll click on detail, but as of now, because it's a simple building, it's a simple example, we can take standard. Okay, now after these details, we go into the building construction. When we click on the building construction, we have many materials and surfaces. If we have a linked Revit model, architectural model, which has defined many materials for all the surfaces, specific materials, and we need to do the design for that, it's okay. We take the Revit takes information from that model itself. But if we don't have that extensive information on the Revit model, we still can override these inputs that are already inbuilt in Revit, and we can just choose as per the default material. So if we know the U factor of a particular material for roof, then we can just search our nearest U factor and just put in there. And likewise for exterior walls, the slab, the doors, any surface from where the load can increase or decrease, we can change the U factor for. And we just click OK. Now we have all the information here. So we save these settings and close it. The next very important thing is defining spaces and zones and defining their properties. Now we have 4 properties that we can define for in space options: space type, construction type, people, and electrical load. Space type, in space type, we can use different options like area per person, sensible heat. If we know, if we don't know, then Revit uses ASHRAE standards, and as per that it gives the default values. So if we select a space, say office, we have many options here: space type, construction type, people, and electrical load. When we click on the space type, we get many options to choose from. If we need to specify what kind of office it is, it's enclosed or open plan, we just click on the enclosed plan and we get all the details. If we want, we can also enter these values manually. We can change it anytime at any point, and we just click OK. Then likewise for construction type, we put, if we need the same construction type which we have used in the starting, we can use that, or else we can also change by adding new information. Next, people, what kind of occupancy, how many number of occupancy is there for this particular space, we can specify that. We can go to specified and just put the numbers, and also the heat gain per person. If we know the heat gain per person, we can specify that, otherwise it takes the default values as per the ASHRAE standards. Likewise for electrical loads, electrical, lighting and power loads also has been defined by the ASHRAE standards, and the Revit software takes the same inputs, but if we want that we can change, we are using any other standards, we can anytime change the values as per our requirement. Once we have created all the spaces and given properties to each space, we'll go to the zones. Likewise, zones also have different properties which can be edited at any point. These are cooling information, heating information, and outdoor air information. So once we have defined the space information, the zone information, and all the properties, we just go to heating and cooling loads again and just check all our information are as per our requirements or not, and then just calculate when we calculate, it takes a few minutes and it gives a very extensive report. Many tables can be seen here. One is, the first and the foremost is the project summary, where we can get the basic details of the project name, its site area information, and next we go on. When we scroll down, we get building summary, and we also get zone wise summary and space wise summary, which is very helpful because we get exact information on how a cooling system should be designed and what system should be taken, so that each zone gets the required amount of CFM or the air required. So when we see in the building summary, we see the peak cooling load is given as 7,835 for our project, what example we have taken, and the peak heating load is given 9,555. This would vary as per the information input what we have given, and this will be very helpful when we go to the space wise table and zone wise table. So we have all the spaces defined individually also, and we have a summary of the whole space and whole zone as well. So that's it. Thank you.